Good morning. Tuning in from this beautiful Champon Ridge walk that I do. Check out this view. Yeah, so beautiful up here, beautiful sounds of nature and all the different wildlife. It's amazing up here. So I just thought I'd tune in and just share my thoughts on what's present at the moment. And I've had a lot of people contact me and reach out, and I think the most prevalent thing for people at the moment is there's a lot of fear, and mostly fear of the unknown, fear of uncertainty, fear of having freedoms and rights taken away. And I think it's poignant in a way. Like, I sit and reflect on these people who haven't had that freedom for maybe many years and sometimes their whole life. These people who don't know what the next day is going to bring, that have been bombed and tortured, and these people that have had to live like this and in a lot of their life, and how easy it is to take this freedom for granted. And as we start to lose some of this freedom and start to be controlled now by powers that be, it really makes me take stock and thank God for this freedom, and the freedom that I still have. I still get to walk around the streets and go for these beautiful walks in nature. I still get to get some beautiful sunshine on me, pick these amazing frangipani flowers, and breathe this beautiful fresh air. And I think it's important at this time to tune into this fear inside of ourselves. So what is it? What does it actually mean? Where does it show up in my body? So maybe get really present with it, and then feel it, like really feel it in my body, and then make it bigger, exasperate it, and then tune into what's underneath that fear. So what am I feeling underneath that? Is it a lack of control? Is it feeling helpless and powerless? And then when I tune into this helplessness and powerlessness that's underneath the fear, I can do the same thing, like exasperate that, really feel that, intensify that. Where do I feel it in my body? What color is it? What shape is it? So really explore this inside of myself, and then go underneath that and see what's underneath that. And this is a really cool process I've used for a lot of years. That helps me to transmute whatever it is that I'm feeling outwardly by tuning into what's actually going on inside. And I think it's a really good time for us to do that, to stop and take stock of what does this mean to us, instead of externally buying into it, externally reacting, which I see a lot of people doing now. And I saw an interesting meme the other day. If someone's yelling, it's because they're scared. If someone's hoarding and buying up large, it's because they're scared. If someone's panicking or anxious, it's because they're scared. And people who are scared need more love than anybody. So how do we just stop and see somebody, who might be acting in ways that we don't like, or that we find easy to judge, maybe ourselves even? How do I stop and actually show love for this person? Because that's what everyone needs, and especially right now. I think what people really need the most is love. So if we have friends, family members, strangers, but especially family members, because it can be a hard time now. There's demands put on people. There's people who are stuck in close confinements, close quarters with people who might not necessarily get along. It can be a difficult time. There's people stuck without their families. There's families putting pressure on people to come home and be with them, and sometimes those old family dynamics from childhood can show up and create tension, create dissonance. Again, then how do I stop and tune into what's really important here? And I think that's one of the things I'm loving at the moment, is I'm seeing people really coming together. I'm seeing people sharing some amazing offerings at the moment. The human side, we see the best of humanity and the worst of humanity in times of crisis, and it's really important to focus on those best of humanity times. What do I see that's really beautiful in the world at this time. So how do I take stock of what's really important? And I think what's important right now, guys, is to actually really tune into the beautiful side of things, you know, to the beauty that this time is giving us, this opportunity that it's given us to go within and to actually see what's really important, you know, to tune in to, am I living my life the way that I really want to live my life? And there's so many people, like a huge amount of people, who are stuck in jobs that they don't like, who are living lives that they don't like, who are bound by addictions, who are, you know, unhappy. And this is a great time to actually tune into what do I really want? What's my purpose? What are my gifts? You know, everybody has a gift. So how do I share this gift with the world? How do I offer what I have now to the world? Because there's people who need you. There's people who need your gift. And it doesn't matter what it is. It might be money, finances. It might be, you know, being a mum. It might be advice, but it might be, you know, sharing your wisdom. It might be doing videos, you know, like, and just reaching people and connecting with people. It might be just smiling with people and reassuring people. It might be, and I think most importantly as well, is seeing the love and the good in people, seeing people in their highest light. So it's a great time to tune in, and what can I do now to serve humanity? And I have a beautiful friend, Angela Cook, who posted the other day, she loves baking and sharing her love through food, you know. And so when she bakes excess, and so she's made bread and cakes and biscuits and scones and all kinds of stuff, and then she just put a post up to anybody who wants it. You know, I've made way too much, come and help yourself. And not just if they're in need, but she's just offering this to humanity. And what a beautiful gift, what a beautiful gift this lady is, you know, like, and there's many, many examples of this around the world now, where people are offering more and, you know, and sharing more. And it doesn't necessarily have to be free, guys. I think there's, you know, there's a lack mentality that people fall into that say, no, you can't charge for anything now, you have to give it all away, and, you know, how dare you charge in a time of crisis. And I think it's still important to value ourselves and value your gifts and to be rewarded for that, you know, and to be paid well so that you can live well and do more and share that more. But I also think it's a great time to now look at what do I have that I can offer as well. What can I give, you know, to the masses? And like I said, it might be just doing things like this, sharing your thoughts, sharing your wisdoms, and sharing an element of yourself. You know, have your main stuff that you might want to sell, but also have some stuff that we can serve. How do I best serve humanity right now? There's some amazing groups happening in Bali. People coming together and joining forces, offering their gifts, you know, in a community where they get to help the community, both expats and local community. So it's really beautiful to see humanity coming together. And I think we really, at these times like this, take stock and see what's important in life, you know. And I think there's also a large part of me that knows that this was always coming. And when I tune in, I have this, like, and I can't explain, you might think I'm wacky, guys, or I'm a bit woo-woo, but it doesn't feel like that. I tune in and I have this absolute knowing, this certainty that this is meant to be, and this is definitely working in our favor. And there's some things going on, whether you believe in, you know, conspiracy theories or whatever, but there's some things happening in the world that a lot of people don't even know about right now, where these powers that be are crumbling, you know, like the way that we knew it is changing, and it had to change. We couldn't keep going. There's the people who have been controlling the world up until now, these evil, greedy, you know, power hungry, control hungry elite that just wanted more and more and more and more, and it just cannot sustain itself, you know. It's became this spiral down, and I think life doesn't abhor that, you know. Life won't accept that. Life is abundance, life is free for all, life is, you know, a continuum. And I think this is an absolutely necessary time, you know. I think then at the end of this we're going to see some amazing changes in the world. We're going to see people coming together and living in a different way. Instead of me, you know, I, it's going to be about we. And, you know, when you look at wellness and illness, if you take away the ness, the difference is I and the we. So the I creates wellness and the we creates wellness. And that's what we're seeing in the world now. So I'm excited about this time. You know, I have a little bit of anxiety, but when I tune into that, it's mostly around the uncertainty of what's happening right now, the uncertainty of these times and what's going to happen. But my knowing deep underneath this is that it's for the better, and we're going to come out with an amazing new world. So my inquiry for you would be, how can you manage you in this time in the best possible way? How can you share what you have? And sometimes people don't know, you know, I don't know what my gifts are, I don't know what my purpose is, I don't know what I'm here to do. This is a really good time, guys, just to tune in and see what is it that brings you joy. What do you love, you know, what would you love to offer the world? And now it's like this whole, oh yeah, but I can't, and I can't shuts the mind down. How do you open that up to, how can I? One of the best questions I began to ask myself when I started to live my life on purpose was, how can I? And that opens the mind up to all sorts of possibilities. And I had no idea, guys, that I'd be where I am now on this beautiful paradise island, living my life like my life feels like it's a holiday. And that doesn't mean that it's always roses and beautiful and easy. I struggle in my own ways. But at the end of the day, I got to remind myself, if I'm having a bad day, I'm having a bad day in paradise, you know. I'm on a lot of people's holiday. And sometimes my worst day is people's best holiday. So it's nice to stop and take check of that. But that didn't happen accidentally, you know. I wasn't just lucky, and you know, like I'm not, and I am blessed, but I'm not just blessed in the sense that it fell into place. Like it was something that I had to make happen. And you can make happen. You can have the life that you truly want, and even in these times, you can tune in. And you know, the one thing they can't take away from us is our mind and our imagination. I remember watching this documentary of a guy who was a prisoner of war. And he said they took everything, like his food, his freedom, his liberty, his rights, his dignity. He said, but the one thing they could never take was his imagination. And he used to just visualize every single day this beautiful park that he was in, surrounded by nature, you know, kids running around, and he just hung on to this image. And he said they could never take that away from him. And he said that's the thing that kept him alive and kept him going, you know, was the hope. So I think it's a really good time to tune into hope, to tune into a better way, you know, to tune into my ideal life, tune into what life would look like if we all helped each other, shared with each other, tuned into each other, felt each other, connected with each other, saw each other in the highest light. Yeah, ramblings. These are my ramblings that I just wanted to get out and share. And just in case maybe somebody is there who might be scared, freaking out, panicking at this time, that I can offer a little bit of hope to. So I think one of the biggest things I'd say at this time is to not tune into the negativity, to not buy into the fear, not buy into the doomsday, you know, messages, and tune into that part of us inside that's really excited about life, and know that there's something amazing coming. Have an amazing day, guys. Have an amazing week wherever you are. I love you. For those of you I haven't told, I love you. For those of you I don't know, I love you. And yeah, take care. Bye.